Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the 2022 Colours Boat Races. I have to apologise, we were not able to bring you the Sally Moorhead Trophy for the Women's Novice Eights. We had some technical issues. Don't blame me, I'm only the speaker here. So I've just fired my guy Liam, and I've brought in somebody else, and he looks like the better part. No, Liam is still here, but UCD won. Not quite sure by how much. We'll need to get feedback on that, but I'm really sorry we weren't able to bring you that. It was quite a close race, and we hope now that we'll have the live feed for the rest of the races. We've got the men's novice eights coming up next, and it's a lovely, beautiful morning here in Dublin. Sun is shining. It's cold, easterly wind. Sun shining, as I say, and it'll be quick. So this is on the incoming tide, run from the west side of O'Connell Bridge up to Euston Station, Kingsbridge Station. For those of you older folks out there, Kingsbridge there, right? It's actually the Frank Sherwin Bridge, officially known now, the new one just before the old Kingsbridge Station. Yeah, Kingsbridge. So it's about 2,200 metres long. And as I mentioned, the men's novice eights will be starting in probably about 15 minutes. And we'll come back to you live then and give you the rundown on the crews and a little bit of information on them before we go live to that race. DUBC, DULBC are on the South Station for all their races. That's what the outcome of that was on the coin toss. UCD on the North Station. So we will be back for that novice eights. Again, I'm really sorry. I have to apologise. We were not able to bring you the women's novice eights, but well done UCD on getting the first win of the morning to them, and they'll be on their merry way back up, carrying their boat over the island, over the weir, and back into UCD Boat Club now, just above the Weird Island Bridge. As the senior men, senior women, and the novice men make their way down now. So we've 3 more races between now and 11:30, and we've got 10 cameras. Hopefully they will work all the way up along the route from start to finish, and we'll bring you some commentary, information, how they're progressing, and who's in the crew, etc. So bear with us. Hopefully this will run smoothly, and we'll be back probably in about 7 or 8 minutes for live feed when they're coming on to the start in blocks just west of O'Connell Bridge in downtown Dublin. Hi there, I'm Jerry Murphy, and I'm with you for commentary on the colours boat races this morning. We've had the women's novice eights, and unfortunately we were not able to bring you live feed on that. But men's novice eights will be starting now in about 10 minutes' time, and we have UCD down turning, ready to come on to the start very shortly. Trinity will be following them now, right on the west side of O'Connell's Bridge. So I'll tell you what, I'll give you a rundown on the crews. This is for the Dan Quinn Shield, the men's novice eights. These guys, first year rowing, so this is a big day for them. Their very first side-by-side race. They will have up to now done time trials, most recently up at Enniskillen, over there, head of the river. They just go off in a procession. But this is side-by-side, off a standing start. Great spectacle here. Good crowd down right along the quays, raced about 2,200 metres in length from the west side of O'Connell Bridge up to Frank Sherwin Bridge at Euston Station there. Full tide, incoming tide, easterly wind, cold, but lovely cold sunny day. Great day for rowing. In the men's novice eights, UCD, coached by Barry O'Connor, Mark McShane and Ross Thompson. Big mention to them for all the work they've done getting these crews on the line. Sam Whelan is in the bow seat, went to Presbray. Samuel Devlin is in the 2 seat, CUS Dublin. Jack Rowland in the 3 seat, and Jack went to David College, Castlebar. Finn Meir from Germany, so an international flavour to this crew. In the 5 seat, big engine room seat, Brendan Saunders. Of course, well, I'm not sure where he went to school, because he either never went to school or, well, he's doing medicine. He must have gone to school somewhere. There's a few of them missing here, so apologies. Tom Rafter in 6, another guy doing medicine in UCD. Niall McMahon doing commerce in 7. And in stroke, Luke Dunleavy went to Newbridge College. And Nina O'Grady, we're allowed to have women coxing the men and vice versa. And she's coxing, she's steering the boat. What a difficult job now. This is not an easy course. You've got to get under all those bridges, negotiate yourself up the river, and a lot of tactics, manoeuvring, etc. So big day for Nina in the cox's seat. That's the UCD crew for this men's novice eights, the Dan Quinn Trophy. And I'll give you the DUBC crew now in one moment, just as I try to bring it up here. Of course, you can never find it when you're looking for something. So UCD, we mentioned them. Here we go. Now I have it. Great. So we've got plenty of coaches with the DUBC guys. Sean Canning, William Doyle, past captain. Mick Doyle, his father. George O'Connor, Matthew Geaver, and Ryan Dullahan. So these guys, a lot of coaching went into bringing this crew onto the start of this race today. Run down on the crew for DUBC men's novice eights. Paddy Moriarty in the bow seat. He's a Kerry man, and I'll tell you, he has a forklift license. He needs that for the race today. I don't know why that's here, but yeah, very important. In the 2 seat, Canis McCarthy, Gonzaga College boy. Number 3, okay, it's Henri Lawrence. Okay, now just one moment. I'm just trying to make sure we've got the right. Just apologies here. Yes, that is right. He's in the 3 seat, and in 4, Max Hopp, and a German. So in 5, we've got Jonathan Atkinson, St. Michael's College in Dublin. 6, Sam Walker, Scolisa from Dublin. 7, William Ho, St. Vincent's Castleknock College, just up the road. He didn't have far to go. And in the stroke seat, big seat, Ben Reid, and he went to school in the UK. So we've got James O'Brien then coxing Malahide Community School. So that's the lineup of both crews here for the men's novice eights. the Dan Quinn Shield. Still not on the start. I see UCD going off doing a practice start, so there's a bit of time left yet before this race. Probably about 6 minutes officially. What we'll do is we might just let them continue to do their warm up, and we'll come back when they're just coming on to the start. I hope you're picking up the live feed. You should be looking straight down now from the start towards the Halfpenny Bridge, up towards the west, towards the finish. So you're looking from the start on O'Connell Bridge right now. What a glorious day in this on the 18th of March, the day after St. Patrick's Day. I hope you all had a great time, enjoyed the festivities, and you're all feeling wonderful this morning with the bit of fresh air now out there watching this. Well, I don't know where you're watching it from, but if you're outside, I hope you're enjoying the good weather. If you're not, get outside, because it's a lovely day out there. This is a great tradition, this race. I suppose it was based on the Oxford-Cambridge series of races, which started way back in the 19th century sometime. And then Trinity and UCD started racing each other. And it's just a great tradition now of racing. And it developed over the years. It was just the men's racing each other, the first boats. Then they brought in novices. Then the women developed back in the 70s, and they had fours only, and then it developed into eights. And now we've got this series of races, men's and women's senior eights, men's and women's novice eights. Yesterday, even up in the Upper River, they had the second boats raced each other in both novice and senior crews, and there was some great racing up there in the upper reaches of the River Liffey yesterday evening. So it's a great credit to both colleges for producing so many good rowers. I mean, if you think about it, today there's men's senior eights, women's senior eights, men's novice eights, and women's novice eights, plus 3 boats yesterday, the second novice eights and the 2 boats and the second senior eights. So that's a lot of numbers from both colleges, and no doubt some of these crews will go on to do, some of these members of these crews. You're looking at the novice eights now lining up onto the start. That's UCD there, looking at them. They're on the North Station. They'll go on to do wonderful things. Not everybody, but some will, at rowing, at a much higher standard. It's a stepping stone right up to winning senior eights at their own Trinity Regatta, to moving on home to national level, European level, World Championship, Olympics, wherever they want to go. There's some big guys and girls out there big, strong rowers. Ideally is what you want to become a winning crew. So a lot of development from the colleges, bringing on our international standards. So well done to all the coaches involved in this. Fantastic. And of course, a lot of these, you'll see now when we go on to the senior crews, they will have members who come in from junior clubs around the country and from foreign clubs as well. So a lot of feeding in from clubs like Commercial, Neptune in Dublin and around the country into the senior crews when they go on to study at Trinity or UCD. We might as well stay on air here now. I was going to take a short break, but we've got both crews backing down now onto the start. And you can see there the tailwind just pushing the incoming tide along. It'll be a quick race. Hopefully it'll be close. We'll see how it goes now. These guys are going to be so nervous. Their very first race as a novice, first year rowing. Never registered to row competitively before in this kind of racing. So I can see Trinity there in the yellow boat. That's a German Empacker, a manufactured boat. Only the best, I have to say. The best equipment. So they've been given the best chance here to be able to get from A to B as quickly as possible. UCD looks like a Filippi boat. It's an Italian boat that they are in on the right-hand side. These would be the top brand boats in the world, Empacher, Filippi, most international crews would use one or other of those, especially in Europe. In America, they will have other brands, Vespalis and Hudsons, but these are the two big ones here in Europe. So they've got to have attached now onto the stake boat, get the stern of their boat. Now again, don't forget, these guys, they're new to the sport. This will be they'll have practiced it, but not under these conditions. Getting attached to the starting block and being prepared for the go. It's key that they're straight, that the boat isn't pointing towards the wall or in towards the crew on the other side, or there'll be a disaster. The cox will have to amend his steering, and that just affects the whole balance of the boat and the momentum off the start. It's critical to get away quickly. So, as we wait here now, we've got pictures, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed as I look at the Ukrainian flag there on the far side. Poignant moment, looking across from the yellow and white boats across to the Ukrainian flag flying in the background. So we're away. That was a quick start, and well done to the starter for getting them off fast, and a clean start from both crews. So we have DUBC in the yellow boat, the Empacher on the far station, on the south station, UCD on the north station in the white boat. And DUBC look like they have got out to half a length straight away. They have had the better start. Absolutely. This is a really good crew, DUBC. I'll tell you that. I've watched them in training a few times, and I was very impressed with them. For a novice crew, they are very well drilled, and it'll take a mammoth task from UCD to take them out here today. But you can see straight away they're out to just under a length already as they go under the Halfpenny Bridge. So that's the first bridge. The next bridge will be the Millennium Bridge. But look at this, DUBC out to nearly a length already. Probably they're just looking for clear water. Pushing out now as they settle down after the first minute's rowing, settling down to about 35 strokes per minute. They will have gone off in the 40 strokes per minute range, and now they're settling down into the body of this race. Going to take them about a little under 7 minutes to get up the course here. So as they head towards the Millennium Bridge, the other new footbridge, and then onto the Green Bridge, Grattan Bridge, Capel Street Bridge, all sorts of, I call it Capel Street Bridge, always have. That's the Green Bridge, you'll know that one. But this is the novice eights, and DUBC looked like they had the much better start. As we move up further up the river now, we'll just await for the next camera to kick in. Hope you're all enjoying this. I'm not sure if we can can we give live commentary, a feed in? People make commentary. Yeah, so let's have some of that, folks. Tell me if I'm whatever. Questions, whatever. We'll try and answer them for you. So looking here now as they move on up to the next bridge, O'Donovan Rossa Bridge. I didn't know my bridges at all. I'm getting good at it now. That's towards the forecourts, just before the forecourts. And DUBC now have the clear water. They've got out to clear water. They've broken free. That rubber band attached, you can imagine an imaginary rubber band has broken. They've cleared out to clear water now. And they will be stretching it out, and they will relax a bit more now that they have that lead of a little bit of clear water. It makes a big difference for a crew. It takes away that awful pressure. It just makes them think more about their rowing now and concentrate more on it. Great rowing for novices, I have to say, and well done to both clubs, coaches, for getting them to this. That's just looking at the finish. We've lost a couple of cameras now, so again, teething problems here. We had 10 cameras. Must have been a couple of our camera men, women drinking too much beer yesterday for St. Patrick's Day. I don't know. Did they even turn up, Liam? We'll have to get rid of a few of these. I don't know what we're paying them for. But anyway, we'll try and get it right for the next two races. Apologies about that. But DUBC, I'm reliably told, continue to lead out to about a length of clear water now, nearly at this point. So there's 10 bridges in total. We're looking back down the course now from the finish line. And and they will be coming into view shortly. So we've missed out on a couple of cameras now for the body of the course over the second half. They must have dropped their phone into the water or something. I'm not quite sure what happened, but we'll get onto that one. Apologies for that. You can see the tailwind there now, where you have quick conditions on the incoming tide. Full tide is at 11:30, so it's still coming in. But it's not far off it now. Actually, you can see the line on the wall there where it's coming up. That's the high mark on it. This is it's a great facility to be able to if you pick the right time and the weather's good, to be able to row down through Dublin on the high tide. The only messy bit is having to get out of your boat and carry it down onto the lower reaches of the Liffey. But once you get in and away you go, it's just great. You can go all the way down to the Three Arena, and it's a good stretch compared to being up in the upper Liffey, where we can row from Chapel Lizard to Island Bridge. It's only 1,800 metres, and it can be quite congested at times. Lots of crews, and this is it's a good facility when you pick the right day and time. So we're continuing to wait then for the men's novice eights to come up towards the finish. After this, we will have the women's senior eights, and we followed by the men's then at 11:30. So that they're the next two, the senior crews, and we're looking forward to those races coming up. Just on the one word of note on the women's senior eights. Afri Kyo, who was rowing in 6 for the women's senior 8 in Trinity, our bronze medalist from Seoul, has had to pull out with COVID, unfortunately. So we won't see her in action today, and that's a pity. One of our Olympians, medalists, won't be rowing. So Miriam Kelly, who's in 4, is moving up to 6. And Sophie Thompson comes in at 4. Well done, Sophie, getting in into the first crew. I'm delighted for you and your family. That's brilliant. We look forward to watching you rowing later. So that's the next race after this. And I think they're just coming into view now. I'm sorry now we didn't have those extra cameras. We'll hopefully get that right for the next 2 races. So as I mentioned earlier, for those who just kicked in there, UCD won the women's novice 8s. Yeah, and then this is now the men's novice 8. So DUBC continued to lead, probably out to about 2 to 3 lengths now at this stage. So they are just probably enjoying this, I would say. If I was in that boat now, I'd be thinking, yes, we have this. They've probably got about 300, 400 metres to go. Minute, just a little over a minute. Minute and a half. And they will be relishing this victory over their arch rivals UCD in the men's novice 8s. But as I mentioned there, UCD men's novice 8, this is a very good men's novice 8. I was very impressed looking at them now as we have live feed of them coming up towards the finish, and they look very controlled for a novice 8. And as they cross the line, it's a win for DUBC over UCD in the men's, the Dan Shield Trophy men's novice 8s. Well done, Trinity. That's a win each now as UCD crossed the line. A gallant effort by them. First year rowers. What an occasion for them and all their family and friends to have this experience today. Congratulations. But as I say, that was a really good white flag raised. Umpires happy. We're a really good Trinity crew. And one of the better novice 8s I've seen out there in recent years. So that's the men's novice 8s. We'll have a look at the camera situation now for the women's 8s coming up at 11. Hopefully we'll get that a little better and we'll be able to watch the body of the course more. And we'll give you the rundown on the women's crews, a little bit about them on the lead up to that. We'll come back to you very shortly. take about. Well, give me. Yeah. Welcome back, everybody. Yes, we're looking forward to the women's senior eights race about to start in about 11 a.m. scheduled for. So as both crews heading down, just finishing off their warm-up practice, and they'll be getting on the start very shortly. That's the Corcoran Cup for the women's senior eights. And we had one change in the DULBC crew. We've had Miriam Kelly moving up to 6, and Sophie Thompson comes in at 4. So that's one change. But just to give you the rundown, Afri Kyo, of course, is out. She got COVID and unfortunately can't take part. Our Olympic bronze medalist, who was supposed to be in the 6th seat. But as I say, Miriam moves up to 6. Sophie Thompson gets a chance at 4, and it's great to see her in the boat. So I'll give you a rundown anyway on the crews in this glorious morning here in downtown Dublin. For those of you just joining us, this is a race from west of O'Connell Bridge right up to Frank Sherwin Bridge, just beside Euston Station. Got a slight tailwind. It's even dropped a bit as I look. Cold enough, but it's warming up throughout the morning. And glorious day. So we got an incoming tide, just about to hit full tide shortly for the men's race coming up on the incoming tide. But we've got the women's here now, and on the UCD Ladies Boat Club, the North Station. We have, I'll give you the lineup of the crews now, just to run through it quickly before the start of this race, which comes up. And we've got Louise Watson, who's the captain in the bow seat, a King's Hospital girl. And in 2, we have Claire Martin, St. Raphael Stillorgan, former school, and Ellie Scott in 3. In 4, we have Orla Hayes. 5, Ava Evans, Kaloshta Isagon. In 6, Merit Sippel, and she is a German girl. I won't pronounce, somewhere in Frankfurt. 7 is Sarah Daly, a commercial junior, went to the high school in Rathgar, and her sister Alison. So the Stern pair of sisters, Sarah and Alison, Finny Daly's daughter, who I know quite well, and they have a good pedigree behind them. Both of them represented Ireland, the Coupe de la Jeunesse in 2019. So there's a lot of experience in this crew. But the big news in that crew is the change in the 6th seat. So we'll move on then, and we'll give you the rundown on the Trinity crew now in a second. Just bear with me while we get that for you. But looking forward to this race now, and we'll just come along now in 1 second. But as I mentioned, Afri Kyo is out due to illness, COVID, of course, and we've got that change in the 6th seat. So we have the women's crew from UCD. Then we'll give you the rundown on that. Coach Tom Sullivan, the legendary Tom. He is. We're just looking here as I just interrupt myself. Yeah, we're not on the start yet. No, I'm just trying to get pictures here, live feed for you now. I don't want to miss the start of this race. But Tom Sullivan, who's been around for more years than I care to remember, as he would say, he is the coach. And in bow seat, Louise Watson, King's Hospital. In 2, Claire Martin, apologies now. I am just going to... That was DUB LBC. I want to give you UCD now. Yeah, that's right. So Claire Martin in 2. St. Raphael Stillorgan in 3. Ellie Scott in 4. Orla Hayes in 5. Ava Evans in 6. Yeah, I'm trying to... I think I might have given the wrong listing earlier. Not sure now. We'll just finish this off anyway. In 6... Yeah, that's the UCD crew. Yeah, I've given you that crew, right? Tom Sullivan coaching. So got a little bit mixed up there now. Apologies. The DULBC crew. Lost the run of myself there now. Just to finish off the UCD crew, I mentioned Seven and Stroke, the Dailies, and Lily Rooney Coxing. Just looking at my notes. So the DULBC crew in the South Station: Laura Brown, Lily O'Keefe, Jane Hogg, Sophie Thompson. In 5 we've got Julie Moran. In 6 we have Miriam Kelly. In 7 Emer Fahy. And in Stroke, Elisa Fraser Carney, and Stroke Eva O'Sullivan. So apologies there. I think I gave you the wrong crew names for the DULBC. That's the UCD crew. Anyway, that's the lineup of both crews, and we're looking forward to a good race here today between the two crews. They're trying to turn the boats here now and get back onto the start. So a lot of experience from some of these girls who've been rowing now for a number of years and have made the senior crew, and it's a great credit to them. A lot of hard work has gone in to get the seat. Now they want to win the race, and this will be their first race of the season, having gone through the head season. So both crews turning around. They're both in Empacher boats, yellow Empacher German boats, top of the range, best equipment. Everything is prepared and ready to go now shortly, as the two crews just managing to miss each other on the turn there. They'll be so nervous now. This is always the most difficult part, as you turn your boat, back it onto the stake boats. So here we go. We've got all the crews up there now. So if I did make a bit of a confusing run of the crews, there you are. They're on the screen for you. So that's all up to date. That's brilliant. You can see it there now, who's in each seat, in each crew. North Station UCD, South Station DULBC. So the crews are actually the wrong way around if you're looking on the screen. Trinity are on the other side, on the South Station, and UCD on the North Station. So you can see there where UCD crew names are on the left, even though the crew is on the right. Looking at it here from the start over O'Connell Bridge, about 2,200 metres long. This race will take about 7 minutes. We've got 10 bridges to negotiate, so the Coxes, Rooney and O'Sullivan, have a big job ahead of them now to drive their crews up all the way up this course as they attach themselves onto the start. As the umpire, I'm looking at down, it's Ewan Dolan. I see him now, recognise him there, ready to start this race. Their heartbeats will be jumping right up now, even without doing anything, as they prepare for this race. UCD are the holders. Of course, there'll be no racing in 2020 and 2021 because of COVID. So 2019 was the last time this event happened, like everything else really. But as we prepare to go now, try and get them away. He's raised their flag and they are away. We're away cleanly. UCD on the right hand side looking, and Trinity on the left on the South Station. UCD on the North Station. The North Station, you could argue it's favourable for the first half of the race. You've got that bend, and if you can lead off the start, you know it'll really rattle the crew on the south station. But it looks to me like Trinity have got a slight lead on the start as we look at them going away towards the Halfpenny Bridge. 10 bridges to negotiate here now, and we're going under the Halfpenny Bridge, about 300 metres, 250 metres gone now into the first minute of this race. Of course, the change in the Trinity crew we'll have to wait and see if it's of course it's going to upset them. Any change like that is going to upset your crew, especially someone up on the stern in the 6th seat. That's a big seat to fill. But let's see how Trinity can manage that now with the changes, forced changes by Trinity. So as they move through the Millennium Bridge, the other footbridge, and onto the Green Bridge, that's the Grattan Bridge, Capel Street Bridge. We're coming up to 400 metres gone in this race. Coming the first 500, where they'll row at a high tempo, and they'll gradually bring it down, striding out to probably about 36 strokes per minute, 34, 36, which is, this is the body of the course. This is where you do all your hard winter's training, the endurance part of it. After the explosive start, they now move into an aerobic capacity where they'll be rowing probably around 90 to 94%, not flat out. You wouldn't be able to manage that. So as we look down the course here now, as they move through, heading towards O'Donovan Rossett Bridge, UCD have taken a commanding lead now. They're out to clear water. So this forced change by DULBC hasn't helped them, unfortunately, and they have not responded here. UCD, okay, they have a bit of an advantage on that side, but they have now taken clear water. They've only gone about 600-700 metres, and already they have that clear water. So DULBC have a big fight in their hands now to try and hold on to them. If they let them get out any more, this race is going to slip away from them. So as they come towards the Father Matthew Bridge and on towards the forecourts, great view down into the centre of Dublin. You see the civic offices on the right, so you're looking towards the city centre from the other side now, from the finish, and you can see that tailwind. You can see the wind blowing the incoming tide up the river. So it is fast conditions, but if you look back, you can see UCD Boat Club are out to a commanding lead. I wish I could tell you this is closer, but I'm going to have to be real here and tell you UCD are running away with this. They've got a couple of lengths at least here now as we watch them pass by the forecourts. Good view of them there as they come up towards the next bridge, the Liam Matthews Bridge. I didn't know my bridges till I started writing them down today. Good quiz question, but look at that. They've got 2-3 lengths through the forecourts. So this is not looking well for the ULBC. Let's hope they can just hold their rhythm and keep it together as well as possible now and produce an effort that they will be at least say they did their best at, and just keep pushing them. You never know, anything can go wrong here. As they move towards then the next bridge, the James Joyce Bridge, they are into the second half of this race now. Well and truly, as UCD continue to move away. So Tom Sullivan and his team will be all delighted with this now, but they haven't won it yet. But it's looking very, it's looking like they're going to get through this now and get over the line and take this race. As we watch down from the finish. A little bit of a blur on that camera there now. Sorry about that. But there's no doubt about it as they come in towards the last bridge then, the Rory O'Moore Bridge. There's probably about 300 metres left after that, or a little less, before the Frank Sherwin Bridge on the finish. UCD continue to lead DULBC in the Sally Moorhead Trophy not the Sally Moorhead, apologies. It's the senior trophy, the Corcoran Cup. Thank you, Liam. Getting my names wrong in the women's senior eights race. So as we look down from the finish, the leaves haven't come out yet on the trees. That'll happen now over the coming weeks, and spring will just come to life. It's always a lovely time of the year. Early summer then will kick in, and it's just a lovely time of the year, especially when you get weather like this. The sun shining, high pressure, blue skies, even if it's a little bit chilly. But Dublin looking great here this morning. We still have the men's senior eights to look forward to now, coming up at 11:30 after this one. But this is the women's senior eights race. UCD, they have been moving well, but this enforced change by DULBC. I don't know. We'd have to ask Andrew, their coach, how Andrew Coleman, who's been coaching for quite a number of years now, how this has affected them. I'll have to get a bit of a feedback from him after this race and see. But UCD coming towards the last bridge now, the Rory O'Moore Bridge, very shortly. We've missed out on a camera. Apologies about that. So there was a section there we hoped to bring you some more coverage on, but it didn't happen. Apologies. It's great to have this live feed. It's a new thing. It's developing, and no doubt it will get better. But here's UCD coming towards the line now. They've got about 10 strokes left in the Corcoran Cup for the women's senior eights in the colours match. UCD coming towards the line. They've got about 4 strokes left. Up they come. UCD take the win. What a great achievement by them. I would say there's probably 4 lengths. DULBC coming up now very shortly towards the line. Gallant effort by them, and no doubt they were rattled by that last minute change. That would not have helped them, to say the least. Up to the line they come. Well done, both crews, and great spectacle, and a great showing it off right down through the heart of Dublin. Women's senior eights, UCD winners. Congratulations to them. Well done to all the club and all the coaches and all the helpers that were involved in that. Fantastic win by them. So that's it, yeah. We'll be back shortly for the men's race, and we look forward to that. Hopefully it'll be a cracker to finish off this series of races, and we'll come back to you shortly. Hi everybody, welcome back. We've got one more race to bring to you live, and hopefully pictures will come clearly a little bit better. Had a few hitches, but let's see how this one goes. The men's senior eights, the final race of this series. Colours UCD Trinity, big race now. Women's race won by UCD earlier convincingly, so let's see who's going to take this one. I'll give you the rundown on the crews. So we got the coaches first: Martin Feely, Niall Farrell, Niall Kenny, and Joe Ronaldson. They're the four coaches. Martin, of course, would lead that pack, and very experienced coach and former rower in his day, an Olympian. So in the bow seat, Sam Daly, Commercial Rowing Club. In 2, Michael Campion from Commercial Rowing Club, in these former clubs before they joined DUBC. In 3, Andrew Carroll, Athlone Boat Club. In 4, we have David Summers, and David's the captain, went to Blackrock College. Thomas Bedford, Walcado Rowing Club. He's studying commerce. Then we have in 6, Andrew Kelly. He started as a UCD novice, so he had no former junior club. Andrew studying medicine. And in 7, Niall Hurley, St. Michael's Rowing Club from Limerick. Stroke, Finton Early, Carrick and Shannon Rowing Club. So a lot of former juniors in this boat. Cox Robin Keane. Robin has a big job today now. Get them up here from Athlone Boat Club. So he former Trinity boy, actually. That's interesting. So that's the lineup on the that's the UCD Boat Club, and they'll be on the north station of the river going in this race now very shortly. DUBC on the south station. They won the toss and they've taken. It's that was the women's race. But here we go now in the bow seat. Paul Thornton is the coach. Paul unfortunately won't be here today. He's got COVID and he's out of action. So they haven't got their coach. Will that affect them? We'll have to wait and see. Not having him there for the final wording and the final little bit of jigsaw to put it together before it'll be interesting to see. Paul, a Galway man, former UCC coach, lots of experience, international under 23 crews, and doing a wonderful job in DUBC. In the bow seat, Julian Schneidner, and he's a Frankfurter Ritter Geldstadt guy, Frankfurt. Alison McDara in the 2 seat, Kalosh Nikoraba, Galway boy. Charlie Norden in 3. Charlie's an interesting guy. He competed in the Paralympics, silver medalist for the USA in 2021, and now he is in the Trinity boat. So he is a man of all tricks. And in 3C, Charlie Norden. That's Charlie. Sorry, I mentioned him. The Paralympian. In 4, Ronan Brennan. Ronan from Neptune Rowing Club is a junior, studying chemistry in 3rd year. Tiernan McKnight in the 5C. Tiernan has 3 castles out in Blessington. And we've got another, I'll mention him now in a minute. And in 6, Alfie Hales. He was a DUBC novice, so he had no former junior club. Tom Stevens is the captain. Tom, Neptune Junior. Interestingly, Tom's father, Martin, is the current captain of Neptune Rowing Club, and Tom's grandfather is a former president of Rowing Ireland, and the late Wally Stevens, a big name in Irish rowing. So a lot of pedigree there. Stroke, Ty McKnight, the other 3 castles, Blessington, went to Newbridge College, and Rowan, been around a while now, coxing this crew. Big job by Rowan Hamilton, King's Hospital boy, and he's steering this boat up the river. So they're the lineups of the crews, and this is the final race, and hopefully we'll get a good, close race. Exciting. That'll go all the way. So come on, boys. We need to see an exciting race. We've had the other races have been convincing wins all morning, and got my fingers crossed, toes crossed that all these cameras will work for you, so that those of you watching streaming on live here can see this race. Great morning here downtown Dublin. I'm probably repeating myself, but for those of you who've joined us, we're watching the camera now from the start, pointing west from O'Connell Bridge. So we got the lineups on the screen there for you, so you can look through that. On the North Station, now it's probably favourable, the North Station, in the first half. If you can get a good start, get out ahead, it'll rattle Trinity on the South Station if UCD can get that lead, because they will have that a slight advantage up towards the forecourts. But then on the lead in, on the second half, for the final 700-800 metres, Trinity know they have a slight advantage on their side if they can just hang on, or if they have a lead, whatever's happening. But please, guys, give us a close race. We want to see an exciting race. I know you don't want a close race. You want to win easily. But let's see what happens, see how it develops. We're coming on to the incoming tide now is nearly full in, 11:30 full tide. So they'll be going on the incoming tide, probably slightly later, that full tide, a few minutes, but it won't have turned by the time this race finishes. We've got an easterly wind, cold, but it's not bad. You can see there just a slight ripple, lovely conditions. 10 bridges to negotiate, some of them easy, some of them hard. All the way up to the Frank Sherwin Bridge there at, if you're familiar with Dublin, the Euston Station, the King's Bridge Station, as your granny would have called it years back. So as I mentioned, 10 bridges to negotiate. So, yeah, we're watching this race. We've got cameras along the way. We'll have one on the launch as well. So if we lose a camera, we can always kick in. I'm hoping my guy here will be, Patter, he's not going to let me down now, kick the camera back to the umpire's launch, where we can watch from there if one of them fails. So that's what hopefully will happen, and we'll see. So this race is scheduled for 11:30, 24 minutes past now. Both crews continuing their warm-up. They will have done a series of pieces, and it's critical that they're warmed up properly for this race, that on the go, because they're going to go off at 100% for the first minute. They'll be in an anaerobic state, and eventually after about a minute they'll come down from about 44 strokes per minute down to probably cruising around 36, depending, into an aerobic capacity operating between 90-95%. You can't go flat out. You just can't do that. You've got to get a rhythm. You've got to get it moving together and work on the pushes. So it's all ahead of them. Big race. I'm getting excited here thinking about it. And it's probably going to take about 6.5 odd minutes. It's a little over 2K. 2K is the standard distance where you race. The Oxford-Cambridge boat race is much longer. It's 4.5 miles roughly, over 6K. It takes about 18 minutes. This race will only take a little under 7. So you can't row any longer anyway because of the bridges. You can't go any further than Butt Bridge, the one below O'Connell Bridge. Years ago they used to race the other way. They raced from where the finish is now, up at Euston Station, down below. They went under O'Connell Bridge. I remember a couple of occasions crews didn't come out the far side, whatever happened, and Nor hitting the bridge. But anyway, there's lots of, you could write a book on all the stories in these races. So they used to race down towards Butt Bridge. So this way, health and safety reasons, whatever way, it's a better way of doing it, racing upstream the other direction. But we've got a glorious day. We're watching now one of the crews heading back down, so this will all happen very quickly now. It's 4 minutes to the start. We'll see how exact they are. Who's taking what umpire? I'll try and see who's umpiring this race. I'll have a look now when they come all onto the. So we've got the two stake boats. Just two that are tied in, and they will attach to them. You'll see it for those of you who wouldn't be as familiar as others very shortly. But look, it's great you're all online watching this, and it's a developing program to try and bring this live feed, and it will progress over the next few years to become better in all sorts of ways in the coverage, and it's a great occasion. We've had St. Patrick's Day yesterday, and the big parade, and now we've got today. It's a festival of a weekend here in the capital city, Dublin, downtown, right in the heart of the city. O'Connell Bridge starting, and it's great to show off our sport of rowing to the world, to Dublin, and online here as well. It's not often we get that chance right down in the heart of the city to have a race. I see UCD now coming up. They'll have completed their warm-up. They're just stopping now and turning. They're in the yellow empacker, and they're first down. So they're on the North Station. As I mentioned, they will have that advantage. I wouldn't be telling them there's any advantage if I was in the DUBC crew. Just row your race. Just think of it as equal. It's equal over the whole course. An advantage on the first half. Obviously, the second half equalises it for the DUBC crew on the South Station. So you can see now the stake boats where they will attach the stern on, and I'm looking at the umpire there. I think it's Ewan Dolan, is it? I'm not sure. He took the women's race. Not 100% sure. Ewan will give out to me now if it isn't him. Say, how could you think that was me? But anyway, he's gone across to them there, the umpire. Oh, he's taking their extra gear away from them, and that's great to have that facility. Anything, get rid of any extra baggage. If you have a water bottle, you'll be making sure there's nothing left in it now before the start. Of course, I tell you what though, I used to keep a tiny bit in the end of mine for after the race. When your tongue was stuck to the palate of your mouth, it was just a little trick I had. But Trinity attaching themselves now. Both in empacker boats, German built, top of the range. Well, Filippi's another brand, an Italian brand, which would be very popular as well now, and whereas up to about 10 years ago, empacker was the one that if you saw finals, World Championships, they were all yellow empackers, but now Filippi are beginning to dominate in that field. So, and they've got the Dreisacker oars, American manufactured oars, carbon, absolutely no giving them at all. Yeah, that's Ewan Dolan, the umpire, an experienced guy, Neptune man, who's nothing to do with Trinity or UCD, so this will be a fair race. And Ewan now is bringing the crews to attention, so he will be telling them briefly to get ready and that they've got to keep to their stations. They'll be pushing, looking for good water, and we hope we have the cameras now that'll kick in and work for you. So just final little bit of preparation here. DUBC, who came in behind UCD, taking off their excess kit, handing it down the boat, getting ready, and he is calling them to attention. So here we go, the red flag is up, and he's away. They're gone. Here we go. The men's senior eights, the Gannon Trophy has started, and both crews look to me as if they've got a really good start. I don't see anything wrong with that. If anything, UCD have jumped out to a canvas on Trinity. UCD in the high 40s, rating about 42, 43 there off the start. It'll come down gradually. Trinity very similar as they head towards the Halfpenny Bridge. 10 bridges to negotiate here. First 200 metres completed. So here we go. Patter, my guy on my left. I'm relying on you now to kick in those cameras for me. And we're back to the launch anyway. If we can kick the camera. Look at this. Great view from the launch, from the umpire's launch. Coming up to the Halfpenny Bridge, the famous Halfpenny Bridge downtown Dublin, looking ahead. Quite a crowd up there on the bridge watching. We've got a tailwind behind us, so this is fast conditions. Quick catch, take it, drive the big muscles on the legs, and get it in fast and push through. That's what they've been told. They'll be settling down now into about 35, 6 strokes per minute as they push on. We just trying to bring in another camera to you soon, but looking from the umpire's launch, I would say UCD have a lead, probably about a half a length at this stage as they approach the Capel Street, the Grattan Bridge, the Green Bridge. You know that one. It's a very famous bridge there beside the Clarence Hotel on the South Station there on your left as you go along, looking at the pictures here. So under the Capel Street Bridge, as I call it, both crews are through. We'll try and pick up another camera from a side angle if we can. But good view, good pictures here coming under the Capel Street Bridge. It gives you an idea. If you're watching Cruise and Henley and you're in the umpire's launch, this is the way you see them. As we take it from the Capel Street Bridge, looking up, UCD have about, not a length, about 2/3 of a length on DUBC. As we watch them now heading on towards the O'Donovan-Rossa Bridge, which is the 5th bridge in this. We've had the Millennium Bridge. I missed out on that. It was another pedestrian bridge. Coming up to the O'Donovan-Rossa Bridge, and then you can see the Four Courts Dome on your right after that. So we've got our cameraman in the launch. It's great to have him now because the other cameras on the sides are not kicking in. Sorry there, but we're watching. It's really good pictures. It gives you a really good feel of this race. Under the O'Donovan-Rossa Bridge now, onto the Four Courts. You know where we are. That advantage in UCD is still there on that bend. So they're taking absolute advantage on that, kicking on. You can see that now. Here we go. We've got a view. UCD have a bit of clear water. UCD will be happy with that. Absolutely happy. But DUBC have to hang on here. They need to hold on here. It's vital they don't let them get any further now. Once we kick through the next bridge, DUBC will have a bit of an advantage coming in over the second half of this race. Here we go. We're coming up towards the second half of this race now, into the 4th minute very shortly as we kick on. Under the Father Matthew Bridge we go now very shortly. We're going to go under this double-decker bus. Here we go. Look at that. Here we come. Moving on. But UCD continue to hold that advantage. Trinity have to go now. They need to start going earlier. They're going to have to, whatever plans they had, my thoughts would be we're going to have to go for this earlier. This is a lead UCD now. They're out to maybe a couple of lengths here, and it's looking good for them. I have to say, we're well into the second half of this race now as we head towards the James Joyce Bridge. Gone past the Four Courts. There's a view now. You can see it. UCD have a couple of lengths. This is not looking good for Trinity. Good view there from the side. You could see the distance as they went past. Under the James Joyce, we've got the Rory O'Moore Bridge to come before the final assault. DUBC going under the bridge there now. So the Rory O'Moore Bridge is next, and my guess is it's probably about 350 from their home, little less even. But UCD have just taken this race. This is fantastic rowing by them. Great credit to them. Great credit to to Martin Feely, their coach, and his team. And this is looking great now for them as they come under that Rory O'Moore Blue Bridge for the final wind-up. Less than probably about a minute or so to go from there. This is 2,200 metres long. They are absolutely on fire now, both crews, to try and maintain this. Here we go. On the build-up now. We're going to start building again. They'll be up to about 40 strokes a minute towards the line. This is where you kick it back up again into full 100% rowing. The lactate will be just screaming at them now as they just try to forget about any pain or anything. This is what they trained so hard for over the winter. UCD continuing to lead though. Our cameras didn't kick in on the side. Here we go from the finish now, watching it. Probably about 20 strokes left for UCD to see can they take this Gannon Trophy. The current holders, of course, we'd no racing the last 2 years, 2021 because of COVID, but UCD, are they going to retain the Gannon Trophy, the Gannon Cup from Trinity 2022? About 10 strokes left for UCD on the far station in the yellow boat. Coming up towards the line, UCD take the Gannon 2022. Congratulations to them. Trinity gallantly trying to just keep it tight and into the finish. Over the line they go. Disappointment for them. The heads go down. Well done, UCD. Great race. And we're just watching it here now. Great win. Supporters of UCD will be just so delighted with that. That was pretty convincing now. Well done to them. Trinity will be disappointed. We'll have to wait and see now what the comments will be afterwards. So there you go, folks. That's our final race of the day. I thought it would be a bit closer, but UCD obviously put in a massive race there, and well done to them. I thought they looked very strong from what we could see on the camera, and it's credit to them. Credit to all the coaches. Credit to the rowers, all the novices earlier on this morning. Well done to UCD women winning the novice eights, the Sally Moorhead. Well done to UCD winning the men's senior eights, and UCD won the women's senior eights. So a good day for UCD. Trinity won the men's novice eights. As I had mentioned earlier, that was a really good crew to take that. So one win by Trinity, the men's novice eights. UCD won the women's senior eights, men's senior eights, and the women's novice eights. So 3 wins for UCD, 1 win for Trinity. Well done to everybody, and can I just thank you all for watching. And as I say, this is a developing project to try and bring this colours boat race series of racing to you, and over the next coming years it'll get bigger and better for you to be able to watch online if you can't make it down physically to watch it on the day. So my thanks to everybody, to Liam and to Patter here in the control room, for keeping things going as well as they could. We had a few hitches, but look folks, it's not easy, and I hope you got some enjoyment from it. Well done to all the winning crews, and we look forward to seeing you again for next year's colours boat races. And enjoy the rest of your St. Patrick's Festival and your bank holiday weekend, and we'll talk to you again sometime soon. Thank you.